Greetings, everyone. This is a key week in the overall plan of Pastoral Ministries 5101 Ministerial Formation. And I want to take a few minutes of your time to talk about what's happening and where we are headed. I call it a shift week. While we don't turn away from the matter of spiritual formation, we are going to deal with it in a specific context. Beginning with week 8, the focus of the course shifts from the exploration of personal spiritual formation, still an essential element of all formational activity, to a consideration of spiritual formation in the life of the church, with a particular focus on community and discipleship. If you've been reading my responses to all of your postings, you're reading responses that fall within a category that I might call personal discipleship first. I confess discipleship is my passion. I think teaching, almost regardless of the subject, is about discipleship. But this is especially true in the life of the church. I confess I have a real bias at this point. I believe that the primary purpose of the church is discipleship, not evangelism, not community service or development, not preaching, not youth ministry, not leadership, not worship. To be as clear as I know how to be, each of those I mentioned is a contributor to discipleship and or a direct outcome of discipleship. Evangelism grows out of discipleship. Community service and development grow out of discipleship. Preaching leads to and flows from discipleship. Youth ministry results in discipleship. Leadership is a consequence of discipleship. Worship forms disciples and gives disciples the means to praise their Creator, which is another element of discipleship. I want you to know I use the term discipleship and formation, spiritual disciplines. All of these are kind of a fit of a pattern, of a basket, I might say. I don't know if I like that actually or not, but they're all deeply connected, and sometimes the words are used, at least by me, interchangeably. I also confess that I believe that the one great failure of the church in the last half, at least, of the 20th century is how it has diminished the practice and value of discipleship in the life of the church. Jesus did not call his followers to be leaders. He called them to be disciples. And he spent 3 years trying to form them into persons, also known as disciples, who would work at the formation of the people of God after he was gone from among them. While much of today's discourse uses terms like leader when it comes to pastoral work, the Bible tends to use terms like servant or pastor, who has responsibility to serve, feed, and care for the gathering of the Christians, who are often referred to as sheep, as the pastors often referred to as shepherd. Terms that ring truer with pastoring and discipleship than with leadership. I think the primary role of a pastor/leader in the life of the church is to see that discipleship in all of its forms and functions is at the heart of the ministry life of the church. One important definition of pastor is teacher. Remember, among the many titles of Jesus, the one most often used by people who knew him was Rabbi. The title of this course, PAST 5101, is Ministerial Formation, which at least implies an additional level of formation. You are here studying at Anderson University School of Theology and Christian Ministry to be formed and or continue your formation as not only a disciple of Jesus Christ, but also as a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ. So the last sessions of this course will be focused on our responsibility in the life of the church to be about the formation, aka discipleship, of the church of God, the people of God. I'm not talking about making sure that everyone in the church has a good understanding or good underpinnings in what it means to be a Christian, as important as it is, and it is foundational. I mean the formation of the people of God, the community of God, the family of God, the church of God in the location for which you all have or may have, pardon the expression, leadership responsibilities. I believe that the lead pastor of a congregation is in fact the chief discipler, and that nothing a pastor does is more important than that. Well, how will we do that? In two specific ways. First, by reading and studying Bonhoeffer's Life Together. There is a narrated PowerPoint that will explain more of what that book is and what you will be doing and how you will respond. Be sure to watch it. This will be a small group assignment. I'm sure that's a bit of a red flag right now, but you're thinking, how will we do that? We're virtual. Can't talk about community outside of community. So how will that work? Well, watch the video. Perhaps the key insight that emerges from Life Together is found in this quotation. Christianity means community through Jesus Christ and in Jesus Christ. No Christian community is more or less than this, whether it be a brief single encounter or the daily fellowship of years, or I might add, parenthetically, a 15-week course in ministerial formation held in virtual space. Christian community, Bonhoeffer says, is only this. We belong to one another only through and in Jesus Christ. What does this mean, he asks? It means first that a Christian needs others because of Jesus Christ. It means second that a Christian comes to others only through Jesus Christ. It means third that in Jesus Christ we have been chosen for eternity, accepted in time, and united for eternity. The goal of all Christian community, he says, they meet one another as bringers of the message of as bringers of the message of salvation. Christian community means community through and in Jesus Christ. Second, the second major focus of the course, we will turn our attention to the final text of the class, Practicing Theology. I'll say much more about this book and what we're going to do with it, what it is, and why it's a text for this course later. What I hope for is that our understanding of the role of discipleship, aka spiritual formation, will be shaped by the idea that pastors are my new version of CFO, chief formational officers in a local congregation, that they are more God-centered than church-centered, that they see their role as caregivers, relationship builders, both with God and their parishioners, that we are called, as Paul says in Ephesians, to equip the saints for the work of ministry, for the building up of the body of Christ, until all of us come to the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, to maturity, to the measure of the full stature of Christ. Ephesians 4:12 and 13 from the NRSV.